It's been quite an interesting week, and we are going to have the biggest conversation again, as usual.
Yes.
And Willie is back. Willie, when you came here for 1 or 2 shows?
Where? I'm back. I've been waiting all week. I think I have ulcers, guys. I've been waiting.
You've been itching.
The anxiety.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. I learned so much last week. I learned about being inadequate. I've been crying every night with my therapist on phone.
I am here sitting in my queendom.
Oh my goodness.
As founder of Samantha's Bridal and CEO of Samantha's Bridal, Samantha Wines, people are drinking. And are you? You're drinking, Simon?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Cheers to you.
Simon.
Salute.
And one and only, and I am the person that you call when you're going through a lot in finding out what content you need to make. I know what you're going through, and listen, I have heard you, so I'm right here for you. And all you have to do is use your fingers and reach out to me. Scuzz, I got you. All right, let's go. CEO.
Buona CEO, I forgot to mention,
Yes.
other than being a noisemaker and a friend of the show, I'm a makeup artist with 12 years experience.
12 years experience.
Yes.
You've been making us men go confused because what this lady is actually
No, he
looking
makes
like.
us look rich.
Eish, and
Yeah.
fabulous.
Oh, yes.
What's
Yes.
this
I'm
Gen
an
Z
architect.
madness, CEO?
Let's start, before we move even to that Gen Z madness.
Yes.
This week is when, last week actually,
Yeah.
the President, William Samoei Ruto, went to Homa Bay and claimed that Parliament is corrupt. He claimed that he knows parliamentarians who get corruption money, 10 million, a governor who actually bribed Parliament 150 million. And all this is tied to a way of fighting corruption. He claims that he wants to fight corruption, and he's calling people out. And that's what brings us to this Gen Z thing.
What's going on?
Because is the president seeing an opportunity to drive his ways into Gen Z's hearts? So there's scramble for Gen Z vote, and the scramble for Gen Z vote, because you know if you talk about corruption, the Gen Z will be with you. Are you thinking William Ruto will have a second chance, or is it one?
Damn. Now, when it comes to this, I understand what he's trying to do, even with the music royalties. He's going to clamping down on that because a lot of people are actually stealing from a lot of musicians. He's going to alleviate a lot of these young people. And when it comes to even the Gen Z, he's even taking care of them because he recognizes their pool of votes. But here's something I have an issue with. Okay? Why is there so much focus on the Gen Z? And that makes me feel a little bit ostracized when he speaks even about us millennials. You see, now we have to take note of this. And I have to speak, and I'll speak on behalf of millennials right now. Gen Zs, you need to thank us very seriously. And I'm saying us even as millennials. Reason being, one, we are the bosses that actually even listen to you now because we know the bad bosses of the older generation. You know, we are those people. We are the cool parents who actually now are raising our kids, listen to them with empathy, and actually even raising them properly. We are those parents. Gen Z, we need our appreciation. We need our respect, not only from even the younger generation, but even from the politicians themselves. Over here, neglecting us, even as when we're not a voter block here, millennials, let us stand up because we called as the silent generation. We millennials deserve not only an ear, but also appreciation and respect, not only from the political class. You need to come out and earn our votes. We are the mid-level managers who are actually now making sure that indeed Gen Zs are heard within the workplace. Gen Zs have to be given a workplace environment in which they can actually, their mental health can actually be even a discussion. Older generation does not want to hear that, but guess who does? We have that empathy. We deserve our respect. On behalf of millennials, we need our respect, both in the political realm and also even on society. So respect us. Put some respect on our millennial name. That's what I have to say. Go.
I believe the political class is banking on our SMS, the short memory syndrome. Gen Zs are the only people who do not know the history with ICC and other things, right? So it's natural for me to come and speak to them and try to manipulate. I hate that term because it's a buzzword right now, but it's not that deep. It's not manipulation because we agree, we participate willingly. I just feel like Gen Zs are the only people with a voice right now who do not know the history. And we have short memory. They know very well. We have not told them everything they did. So for me, I think it's a smart political move on Mr. Ruto himself and anyone else who wants to use the Gen Z voters bloc because they have the swing vote. Speak to them to further your political stance. But now my issue is, will that help us? It will only help us if we do support the Gen Z. We need to help them demand for what is right. If it's corruption, let people call out corruption. Let people ask why Vanga Road right now in Lavington, for instance, has been under construction for how many years? I think for close to a decade now. Every time you go there, one part is blocked, it's under construction. Is that private money? Is that public money? Like e-pesa inatoka wapi? Are we hemorrhaging money? You see, we the millennials are too busy to ask because mimi niko huku nakimbizana na my boss. I have deadlines to meet. We have school fees to pay. There's mortgages, which I think are the most expensive alone in Africa right now. I think we shall talk about that later. My thing is Gen Zs now have time and education and internet.
You call it Gen Zs idol?
Idol is not the term. They have time and they care for our political environment.
Really?
I think they do because they would otherwise be posting dance videos. And they should take advantage of the fact that politicians are looking to them. Demand for what you want. Ask for help. Ask for scholarships. Ask for an audit on, you gave the church 20 million. Where is it coming from? Because I think I do remember my president, Mr. Ruto, saying that someone should stop the politicians from donating. You remember?
To the church, yeah.
Yes.
I remember that.
Like by the time you're donating 100M, you should be audited. Explain where that money came from. So I think Gen Zs take advantage. And we millennials, as in mimi na wengine, I feel we should learn a few things from you guys. Ask
Why?
for what is. I think we need to ask. A closed mouth is never fed.
Anyway, moving on swiftly.
Interesting.
I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the two of you, yani,
What is it?
these millennials, I thought we were talking about Gen Zs.
No, I say
And
no,
you're here.
I'm enough. I'm saying enough. No, I'm saying
I'm a
enough.
Gen X. We survived the 90s.
Yes.
We gave you the new constitution.
Yes.
We gave you freedom of speech. Tulienda sabasaba.
Yes.
Don't ask anything from us, but however,
What?
however, I think, I think the president has had his Damascus moments. Just seeing the way Kenyans have rallied behind the Kenyan team, the football team.
Oh, yes.
Just seeing how this football has just united everyone. Everything disappeared as if we had no problems.
Yes.
We are just united. I think that Damascus moment for him has come and realized, actually, it is very easy to move Kenyans and to just manipulate them and sway them in this way. And I think it could be a good wave for him to ride and actually become one of the most favorite presidents. If you can sort out the musicians, if you can sort out the creative arts sector, you know, last time I was saying even the footballers, better even if they're paid like 10 million. And actually it's coming to fruition, like they might actually end up with that.
Yes.
If we can stimulate sports, stimulate creative arts, stimulate the things that will actually end up with sustainable jobs for the young people. In fact, I don't think Kenyans really want our current president really out of office in that way. The Gen Zs are asking for opportunities, and all these problems will disappear. Opportunities that are sustainable, not kazi kwa vijana, these things on the street, and tomorrow there's no job. That's what they're actually asking. The other thing about Gen Zs is that I think our generation, because we had black and white TV and all that, we believed in fairy tales can come true. Let me tell you, my daughter, who is like 12 years old, she says money. She doesn't even watch these Cinderella things. She said, no, princesses are always suffering. Me, I want the truth. Yeah? We are going to have a Flash Gordon birthday themed. Yeah? Because she wants nothing to do with fairy tales. They are aware. And so she's an alpha. So Gen X, they know that. So please, just if you're in leadership, and the reason why Gachagua is really gaining momentum and miles is because he's saying it as is. He's not sugarcoating it, he's saying it as is. And that's how Gen Zs actually want. So it's very easy to manage it. The Gen Z problem is not a problem. What their demands are and what can endear you is just create opportunities, genuine, sustainable opportunities.
So I think I'll take it a bit further and say that the president is playing gimmicks.
Or he's not committed.
It's gimmicks because he sees it's 2 years towards election. He can sway some votes. He knows that the Gen Zs are out there and they have numbers ready to get into the voters' block. So the president is trying to win votes and what I call sympathy votes to a few people to come on his side. But the truth is, last month alone, Nancy Gathungu reported that in the report that 9.6 million from e-citizen was stolen. 2.5 extra fees were charged by the officials, billion also. KEMSA 2024, 3.5 billion. If he's serious about this thing, and this, I'm talking about the money which can help the Gen Z secure a future.
Even young people.
Yeah, even young people and all these people in the country. If you take 9.6 billion, you take 2.5, that is citizen. You take 3.7 billion on KEMSA scandal. You take 6.6 billion on edible oil.
All that?
Yes.
All these monies have disappeared in 2 years.
Yeah.
Just that.
And they're telling us, from where you sit, that you have the goodwill to fight corruption. Yet those people are working in this country. Those people, you're telling us about people who have given 10 million in parliament. What about 9.6? What about 3.7? What about... So the question to the president is very simple. For you and for us to take you seriously, allow the multi-agencies team to work, because the buck, and I said in another show that the buck stops with the presidency. When Harry S. Truman, the president in 1945, went and ordered for a chair for the White House, which says the buck stops here. The buck stops with the president to make sure that Kenya is well governed, that corruption is free, but not telling us, because he has all the instruments of power to stop corruption. He has all instruments of power to ask people who report to him, what have you done? Why haven't I seen these cases proceeding legally? And people are charged in court of law, and the people who have stolen to refund money to the exchequer so that it can finance the activities of this country to move forward. So my problem is, you might want to play those gimmicks with Kenyans, because I was really said short memory syndrome. But we are aware, we are clearly aware that if you do not follow the talk with action, we have no time for you.
And I agree with you even further. Let me even just take it further. Is, you know, we have in Kenya, we have the "What have you done for me lately?" You know, what have you done for me lately? Because
that was a song that Gen X created. What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. Okay, I've never heard that song. But now you see, what have you done for me lately? Because in the context of, now we're looking for what actions have you done, not what things that you have even said.
They're telling us.
Exactly, because now when you say a lot of verbatim, and what I like is, now as young people, is we have a higher level of accountability. We have a higher level of, you have said all these promises, because back in the day, it was good enough to just say. Now we need accelerated action that needs to match what you've actually even said, even in instances when it comes to even, so we're trying to build a capitalist society in which even foreigners can even come here and actually even invest properly.
Yes, I can expound on that. Actually, as we are busy here, Kenya's complaining. What is happening is that there are very many foreigners who are trooping and coming to Kenya, not just as tourists, they are coming and staying, buying land, taking over some opportunities, and they're saying, you know what, Kenya is home. And when I say foreigners, I don't mean people from African countries. I mean people, especially from Western countries, and majority of them seem to be Black Americans, people of Black descent, but also even other people from just Western countries. They come here on duty and they just don't go away. I see several advantages and disadvantages.
What's one?
One advantage here is, I've always said, by the way, I can clearly see why. Kenya has an amazing temperature. One of the things, we could have done it anyway, but one of the things the colonizers left us with is infrastructure. We are so organized, the administrative infrastructure, but also even our road system, the way even our estates are organized, the way things are organized in Kenya, we take it for granted. But outside of maybe South Africa, then you're talking of Kenya. Like if you travel, you'll see that, number one. Number two, our weather is good. Number three, the average Kenyan, we've interacted so well in terms of we've had so many people over the years come into Kenya that an average Kenyan, even though they've never left Kenya, we have such a background, a very healthy attitude towards foreigners, and that it's like we've always traveled, we've interacted.
We're very hospitable.
Yeah, we are hospitable, but this is, we take this for granted, because when you go to other countries, you find, including some European countries, they are not cosmopolitan as we are, and therefore it becomes very easy to come to Kenya. Even if you have an investment, your investment is guaranteed to actually, no one is just going to grab it. At least, even though we complain about our judiciary system, it actually works compared to some other world, even within Africa itself. So there are very many, and then there are many opportunities that we locals actually do not see. So today I want us to discuss why, if you have other reasons, but also how can we as Kenyans take advantage. There are some disadvantages, but since we're here and they're here, there's by the way, on that note, there's 8,000 UN employees that are coming to Kenya because of work. So therefore, we are headed towards very interesting days as from next year. And I even hear World Bank is going to also establish the headquarters here.
Yay!
What is it?
Beautiful. I'm personally very happy.
I agree. And I think change is the only constant thing, is what they say, right? And I feel like this change will force us to rethink the way we've been doing business as Kenyans. This is a yay for investors and a nay for consumers. Because what I know for a fact, if I'm a realtor, now I'm about to make a trend because I can invest in high-end B&Bs. Unfortunately, that will edge out the common mwananchi, kina Collins pale. Yes, there's that. But you know, the liquidity thing and also the mentality. Dr. C will get 1 million shillings, think of buying an asset. I will get 1 million shillings, I will buy me a new waistline, a happy childhood, a clear skin, you know, a nice perfume, a jersey. Wait, what happened? Last week I saw. All right. Yeah, so I feel it's a seesaw. Anytime there's change, there's going to be a group of winners, and I hate this word, losers. I think it's how you look at it. For me, I'm looking at it as a makeup artist. If I do capitalize on that foreign market, I get to work on, because I already have, beauty brands have already landed here before, those international beauty brands. The way I look at it in my line of work, if I'm already familiar with products from their country, it's going to make it easy for me to assimilate into their audience, which means more business for me. Now that also, the drawback is I might make more, but I'm likely to spend more to live where I'm living right now, because now they will move there. Then I will have to move not to Dr. C's SQ, if it's still open. you see, I will be left in a state of confusion. I will have to adjust my lifestyle, and that will cost me money. That's just the way I think of it. I don't know. So as a business person, it's a yay. But as a consumer, we are hashtag screwed. I don't know if I can say that.
Can I just say something out of what is it before you go?
Yeah.
On the issue of even the makeup brands, the fact that you may capitalize because they're already familiar with them.
Yes.
One of the things I'm noting about these people who are coming, most of them are of African descent. So they're coming here to reconnect.
Oh,
So what I've noticed with these people, they are actually looking for original black-owned Kenyan African products. So you may not really win with their multi-billion back and court, whatever that, those products.
Yes.
Yeah, the world's richest beauty woman. They may not really want to make her more rich. They're coming here because they want to reconnect, not just with the people, but with the products. So it's an opportunity for us to really build strong Kenyan brands because this is a common characteristic.
Yeah, I hope they also drive Mobius. We need to revive Mobius, the Kenyan, the Kenyan car maker.
I see. Let's be 100% real.
Yeah.
All right, let's cut all the fluff, okay? Now enough of the fluff.
We're optimists.
Now here's the thing, no, let's be real. The reason why a lot of people, foreigners come is purely because of capitalistic incentives and the fact that Kenya is a very robust environment in which their original countries may have rules and guidelines that limit even their expansion of their business, or even for them to execute the business in which they would like, and even here, even it could even be the standard of life. The length in which $1,000 can go there versus even paying $1,000 here is a whole different thing. Even $1,000 rent, it will only give you an SQ in places here. $1,000 rent here will give you a 3-bedroom. And there's a difference in that. Let's cut the BS and let's be real. And also this other thing is this. I want to talk even about even the terms expat and immigrant. Let's even discuss those topics. It's a very serious topic because in the sense that why in the world are we calling foreigners expats instead of who they are? Immigrants. And because when we go to their country, what are we referred to as? Immigrants. You are not referred to as an expat. Why is that so?
It depends.
And yet now, listen, they're interchangeably, because in the sense that when someone even, when they come here, even that someone even goes, CEO even goes, he's qualified. He's a guy who has even degrees. He has even expertise. When he goes to now England, when he goes to even the States, or even goes to even Australia, he's not called an expat. He's called an immigrant. But now, when someone who's not even qualified, all solely because it's tone of the skin, and even just could even just be even how they look, they're called an expat. It's understood. No. And even in the sense that even you have to also recognize that indeed either term is used, even CEO is called an expat even when he goes at the same time, or both people are called immigrants. Let's recognize even how these terms are also used interchangeably based on how someone looks. It's very important to recognize this and how we even use these terms. And also even going further is that when foreigners come, we don't have an issue with that. We're welcoming for now because at the moment in time, we have an economy in which it can actually even grow. And we have an economy in which that even allows a lot of capitalistic incentives. But there are a lot of incentives I have an issue with. There are a lot of incentives and a lot of, in a sense that the government actually gives a lot of leeway for a lot of foreigners to execute business to their benefit, but a Kenyan person would not get those benefits. There's a lot of prejudice in the sense that a Kenyan business is not given the leeway to expand and flourish in the same way that a foreigner's business would be given an leeway to actually now set foot. Reason being, there's a lot of assumption that indeed a Kenyan brand will not expand and grow beyond the realms of even Kenya and does not even have as much of capital or even in money to even now bring within the Kenyan realm. And we're also very quick, even amongst ourselves here as Kenyans, to even antagonize and even villainize our own brands within Kenya before even tear each other down. A lot of local brands, a lot of local businesses which had so much potential, which had even had so much even, were bringing in so much even incentive and employment within our local people were teared down, all because of political incentives and all because of selfish endeavors and all because a lot of corruption that has teared us down. And then when that is torn down, guess what is imported? A foreign company comes in to fill in that gap. That's when you hear a lot of imports and a lot of other things, a lot of external revenue which comes in, which then now what that means? Money that now investors now come in. Investors come in with their money solely for the sake of even sending that money back, as much as Kenyans go out to bring money, not to get money, but eventually a lot of Kenyans, what do? They want to invest money back where? To Kenya. So please remember that. Even as we are a capitalistic society that provides a very conducive environment for foreigners, they even welcome, and that's a very good reputation we have as Kenyans. And that's something I even appreciate, the fact that any foreigner can say that indeed, when I go to Kenya, I am welcome, they're very well people, from even the Mama Mboga to everybody will appreciate me and even welcome me. That is a very good reputation. But let us not allow our generosity and our kindness be taken for granted, in which our resources are taken advantage of and our fellow people are not given avenues to actually even grow as much as we give foreigners.
So I think I've read and seen very many foreigners coming, especially the Black Americans. My only question is, I always say that land is a very vital tool for Africans. And my fear has always been that you can come to Africa, you can come to Kenya, you can do your investment, but the moment I start drawing the line is when now these people are buying lots and lots of tracts of land, that many Kenyans will end up without land in the very near future. Because if you go to America today, it's very difficult for you to buy a piece of land. When I'll break it down first of all in the problem we have in South Africa currently. There are too many immigrants in South Africa that the South Africans themselves have now feeling threatened. That's why there's this a new operation where they are denying foreigners even hospitals to attend hospitals and schools and all that, and they're saying that their resources are stretched. Yeah. Now, the question I have, the issue I have with the foreigners coming to Kenya is we want qualified people to come, number one. We want expatriates to come and invest and do what is honorable, just invest. But the moment we open our borders the way we have opened our borders, I can see a serious problem coming up. All the salonists are Rwandese. All the people who sell tea and shoes are Burundians in this country. Even my Shamba boy right now is a Burundian in Ugenya. You see? Currently.
But isn't that shame on you?
I'm just saying what has happened.
No, I'm saying, but I'm just saying.
It just is not
giving you examples. What has
that
happened?
is an example, so it's not a fact. That you have employed a Burundian.
I'm saying what is happening in the country. Because
there was no Kenyan you could employ.
There are Kenyans who can employ, but
they don't want.
The Kenyans can come, but you see they're cheaper. You understand?
You see now.
So if you look at this order of chronology, the Kenyans will end up jobless, and that's why Gen Zs are on the streets.
Yes.
They're on the streets because all the jobs they could do, if you go to River Road, the Nigerians have taken over. They're selling everything and everyone. If you go to Kilimani, the Chinese are everywhere.
There's even like a China square there.
There's a China square there.
Yeah.
The problem we have in this,
my house.
The problems we have in this country is our laws are not streamlined properly by the government to identify who is coming in this country and for what purpose. We are not saying no, you shouldn't come. We are saying come, but this is the rules of engagement. You can come in, you can do this, you can open your business. The shareholding is 50% foreign, like in Tanzania, 50%
yes, Tanzania,
local.
I saw that.
But you know what? Let me say something. I feel I really need to contribute to this conversation. You know, the fact that we as Kenyans, I think we just like suffering. Because, you know, and I know we were meant to talk about this patriotism when it comes to Kenyan products and patriotism when it comes to even employment. The president himself, much as, you know, we are busy giving all these, yes, we love Harambee Stars and he did something good. What was that shoe he was wearing? If there was such a time like this, when you're there cheering, yes, you can buy you can wear your Italian things, we know, but wasn't that the time to rock up with a Kenyan-made sneaker? And yeah, we have many of them. This phone, yeah, we have many of them really. This was the time. So we just like to suffer ourselves. Look, we are busy. Like there's so many times when even our politicians, including even we ourselves, we are not saying that we imprison them in things that are not made in Kenya. But can we make those public statements?
I want to add on. Can I add on for something? Let me put it in perspective for you. It's not that we Kenyans like to suffer. We Kenyans attach ourselves to winning and also success. And reason being, what you have noticed is a prime example is what's happening with the Harambee Stars. You saw Simon. You saw no, we're not going to go far. You saw Simon wearing a Kenyan Harambee Stars jersey. Simon himself, that was me buying my first Kenyan jersey. That was me, as I'm using myself as a prime example, as me attaching myself, because we want to attach ourselves to success and to actually even winning. And what we need to do is, going back to CEO's point, is provide a conducive environment where there is success in the
no, but also we know. We are going for a break, but there is a Kenyan shoe called Enda. Which there's a lot of investment that has been put in. In fact, these people got a lot of investment. Why wasn't he wearing that shoe?
I think that's a failure on Magical Kenya's part.
No, it's not it's a failure on all of us Kenyans. We need to start by buying Kenya. The other day there was a video of South Africans actually trying to get people who are not South African out of their hospitals. Like go to a private hospital, we don't want to reach there. I'm just saying, can we be patriotic to ourselves and just start buying Kenya to build Kenya so that even when these people come to flaunt their things, they must already get with the program.
All right, we'll be back with this conversation. Yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes. We'll discuss this and so much more. Please, don't go anywhere. Sip some wine, okay? Welcome back to Let's Be Real. Yes, we're going to suck you in with succulent topics. Like right now, Willie, the guest. He has a very interesting topic right now. Hey, let me drink to this. The Samantha's wine's down my throat real quickly. Tell me, Willie, what's going on?
My opening line, marriage is a scam. By Maria Nyambane. Allah. I don't know why. Every time I'm here, they have me discussing marriage. I don't know what they're manifesting in my life, but you know, ya Mungu yatendeke.
Amen.
So now, according to former presidential aspirant George Wajakoya, Professor George Wajakoya, I like to give people their titles. Okay. So he says marriage should be renewed after 5 years, like a driving license. It should be, and I agree with him. That's why I can hear him fuming here. You know, he's about to bite my earlobe off. But now, I do agree with him. But now the issue is this an attack on the sanctity of marriage, or is this a way to reduce toxic marriages? Let's not forget, as a country, right before the protest, we just came from a conversation of femicide. Actually, that was the first mandamano we had. And mostly, and Dr. C and CEO, the statistics people, I think in the States, or is it globally, the first, in homicide cases, the first suspect whenever a spouse is murdered,
yes, of course,
the first suspect is their spouse. So I think there's a conversation, an extensive conversation that is pending on marriages. I totally agree with the 5-year renewal. What do you think, Dr. C, as a queen of weddings in this country? She is the CEO of Samantha Bridal, you know?
Kenya's leading wedding media and lifestyle company.
Yes, and only so far.
Well, there's others, but anyway, let's talk about the sanctity of marriage.
Yes.
First of all, we have to look at why are marriages there? And I have to start by saying, in the past, governments and even the church was never interested in marriages, including the church itself. Yes, Jesus attended that wedding in Cana, And is there anywhere else you see him in any wedding?
I only remember he brought wine.
In fact, he brought wine. Cheers. Salute. Salute, yes. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Let's look at the importance of this family unit and a marriage.
Yeah.
It is through marriage that we pass the lineage, inheritance. The society is organized around families, and marriage is the one thing that is actually binding this thing together. Now, thinking of now renewing changing the marriage laws, it would require a total, complete overhaul of a lot of Kenyan laws that you guys do not even imagine what that marriage license, whatever the fabric of the society, it really creates the fabric and the lexicon in the society. We would have to review very many things. Yes, while I see the advantages, like, then the renewable contract means you're more committed. There's advantages you can see in the short term, but in the long term, I see the fact that especially there are certain people within a marriage who may be vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense that, like, the wife stays home, and looks after the children. And so now if we are to renew it, how do we then split, for example, even the finances? Number two, it will lead to a lot of insecurity within the marriage itself, okay? And just a total breakdown of a society as we know it. It will just create such mayhem that what we seem to think are advantages will actually not be advantages at all. And that is a very selfish, from a selfish idea from somebody who thinks everybody should get on coke, we should legalize cocaine, weed, everything. The answer from me, no. Anyway, go on.
On a serious note, there is no sanctity in marriage anymore, and let's not even lie to. No, let me speak.
Those are according to social media people.
Let me speak to you right now.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. There is no sanctity to marriage anymore. That is a facade in your own head, because we Kenyans love to portray ourselves as good people. Sanctity in marriage for what? Then the biggest people who are actually even out here, HIV and AIDS, are the people who are in marriage. Sanctity for marriage in what? And even even how many married men are chasing after you young girls out there. You know yourself. Sanctity for marriage in what? And you just verbatim in how many people are even getting divorces here in Kenya, left, right, and center. Sanctity, my foot. And the thing is this, there's nothing to preserve here. What you need to do is this, recognize this. Forget even the 5 years, even what Jacoa is even saying renewal. I even say this. Do not even have a wedding until you guys even 5 years, even after even a proposal. And reason being I say this is that we're busy here celebrating a one-day ceremony, and yet even you guys are busy now breaking up even after 1 year. People are busy focusing on putting more effort in a one-day ceremony and then giving Dr. C all your money so she can actually make sure she gives you the perfect wedding through Samanda's bridals, and yet you have no content in your own relationship. The lack of content and the lack of laughter. Now, what sanctity are you actually preserving? Nonsense. Let's stop even here speaking facades, and the real thing of what people are actually doing is not in any way preserving any sanctity that's even left in any marriages. Marriage, when we actually now bring back the sanctity of marriage, is putting back the emphasis of what actually is the real content of a relationship. When you actually now celebrate, even what I propose is this, have a marriage after 5 years, you guys actually been together, and you guys now already put in documentation, don't even have the ceremony until 5 years. And the reason why I would say have the ceremony after 5 years is because of this. You guys are celebrating that you guys have pushed through, that you guys have actually even built something together, that you guys are actually not going to call everybody in every single chama because you guys are just beginning. No, you guys actually begin in silence and celebrate 5 years in a public. When you guys are able to do that, even now, you guys now, that will now bring quantity in the sense that the quality of the relationship will now go deeper in the sense that does my lifestyle match yours? Do we match in the direction that we're headed to in life? Those are now the conversations that you guys will have, not oh, utaniletea mapointi, what kind of things are you going to bring me? Does he satisfy me in bed or whatever? But that's actually very important, by the way, man. I would take note. But at the same time, it's very important that you guys now focus on the character of individuals, not necessarily focusing on the ceremony aspect of even marriages and so on and so forth. Because that is what now leads to a lot of downfall. Because people are focused on the ceremonial aspect and putting effort in making sure that they maintain face in the presence of the public, not actually getting any content of a relationship that actually leads to something productive within society. See you?
Isn't that why then it should be easier for the aggrieved party to exit? If you find your spouse has been lying to you.
Forget that. Forget exit. Getting in should even be harder.
And from two people who are not even married.
Yes, you're welcome.
Not even.
You're welcome.
Anyway, let's hear to
You're welcome.
married.
And you're welcome.
All my clients who've gone
And
through
you're
a
welcome.
divorce tell me the same thing. Do not have the wedding. Do not have the marriage. Well, carry on.
So I think let's go back to our research and see that around 70% of Kenyans are married.
Yes.
Around 20% of Kenyans divorce. That is the economic survey of and the households of this year.
Publicly.
Yeah. So publicly,
Yeah,
there are
there's some
numbers
who are-
there.
yeah.
So what I would say is that marriage as an institution has suffered a great challenge due to the development and the way people are relate nowadays. But it does not mean that marriages have failed terribly. It means that there are challenges which are undergoing in that area where many people have to look at them and realize that these challenges are not going very soon. But the biggest problem we have...
As your wife calls you.
No, that's
It's okay. I'm
that's
just joking.
office. There are a couple of meetings. So the biggest problem we have in Kenya today is that many people are getting to marriages when they are not ready for the long haul. Probably you have a very beautiful girlfriend, you think you can get along together, then you get along and after some time you realize, this is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for this. But also, circumstances change and people are not ready. They always say for good and for worse.
For better or for worse.
For better, for worse. But then when it reaches that point, someone gets sick, someone is auctioned, and these challenges are deeply affecting marriages a lot. Traditionally, why marriages never had these issues, because the mode was either you have land or animals. Animals, if you had cows and goats, you knew after 9 months you have a calf. After 3 months you have a goat. You can expand your territory. You can conquer more land and women were more productive. So there were less challenges in marriage than today. Today you get into a marriage and the next day you're auctioned. The next day this has happened. And then you realize, oh my, did I get? That's why people are saying, should we have a contract or not? The truth is, even if you have a contract, the challenges will remain.
Contract's broken.
Remember, even the people who are in what we call, you see the family unit in Kenya today is either a mother or a father, or a mother alone or a father alone. Single family, you can have both parents, heterosexual parents. It doesn't matter. What it matters is that even the people who have alone are even suffering more. They're wondering whether I would get that man back to help you shoulder the bills. So I would urge anyone out there who want to get married, ask yourself, am I ready for the long haul into this relationship? Am I ready for that wedding? Am I ready to save? What if anything happens to me? Would this thing survive? I think that's the most important thing.
What do you say?
I feel it should be easy for you to get out of marriage because people do change and it's not necessarily for the worse. I might get into marriage and then I realize I am getting more ambitious. People know how to hide their clothes. And back to your point, I agree people should date for 5 years before they get married. Unfortunately, it's not the case anymore. Simon, your parents are probably asking, hey, Simon, you're over 30. I need to find Njambi, Mama Nani's daughter.
My parents
we have a wedding.
These guys.
So, traditionally, how marriages have happened, in my experience as a makeup artist, it's not necessarily the woman or the man coming up with, this is my spouse, we're getting married. Sometimes it's behind the scenes pressure. And I feel in that case, it's unfortunate that we don't have a way out. And while in every other aspect of our lives, we have a way out. You have a way, Dr. C, you can take your car back to the dealership. You can get out of that contract. It's not easy, but there's a way. There's a way you can get out of being on this show easily. There's a way you can get out of even your landlord's agreement or home ownership agreement with the bank, with anyone. Why is it not the same for marriage? Even your school, there's a way legally.
Is that
you
what
can
we're talking
take
about?
No, Amy wants to.
The way I look at it is marriage, I feel people who want to get out have no easy way to get out.
But you can divorce.
But the divorce is not easy.
It's very
is my
easy
point.
these
Very
days.
easy.
There was a new
Easy.
ruling that
Yeah.
said if your spouse no longer wants to be in the marriage,
You go and
Here's the
divorce.
thing.
you just go and divorce. And even
But
if
what
the
if the
other
other party
person,
does not want to let you go?
they will give
No,
you the
they'll give you
divorce.
But now here's.
That's
let me-
an-
I know
new
people
rules.
who've gone through
Let me
divorces
back him. Let me back him on
and
this. Yeah.
they tell me don't get married.
The,
Please.
the backing on this is not necessarily can you get out, is more or less the public stigma, especially now within Kenya, is not necessarily proud to say
They're
that I'm a
not-
divorcee.
it's-
There are some people who may say like that thing. Just like how even some people may not say that indeed that they would be comfortable saying that indeed they have an IUD or something like that. They have even something that even they put themselves even as a family health plan method. For example, we're now even just discussing the Bill Gates Foundation. Bill and Melinda Gates, what they've done is they funded a lot of funding for reproductive health and a lot of things that they've gone around saying that indeed, hey, we're funding a lot of things for even in Africa, we're funding make sure that indeed every woman is empowered to the extent even for their quote unquote reproductive health within it for society, and they focus primarily on their women. And one of the stories that came out was indeed that the Namibia president said no, but in fact that was actually wrong. There was never such a proposal, so hence there was nothing to decline. Even in Namibia, they came out and they said that there was nothing like that, because this rollout has actually been done in India, Kenya, here, and also even in Nigeria. One thing I want to give you a perspective is this. I think the foundation would do this in an environment which is heavily capitalistic. And what you see right now within Kenya is this. I want you just to take note, just this caveat. There's a lot of young people within my age or even younger who are saying that they're putting off kids later because solely for the sake of their economics. And they're doing that, standing on that. And I want to put myself in that perspective. But we still want to do what? Engage in seeing each other naked. And that is actually now something that actually now, because we want to still engage in this, but we do not want to reproduce based on solely on economic issues that now may hinder us from taking care of the child, because now we're being a lot of us are actually very responsible and alert that indeed we're not going to get kids right now. We're not be very fast in getting kids in our early 20s and everything. No, some ladies are even putting off getting kids even into their 30s. That is a fact. And that is the thing that's happening right now, solely because people are scared of poverty more than they're scared of not having kids. That is what's going on right now. And when the Bill and Melinda Gates now, they step in and they see this is the area that you see a lot of this. Because, and that will happen a lot even in young ladies here in Kenya, because remember, please, I want you guys to remember, Kenya has the highest population of single moms. And guess who is seeing all of these single moms? Are the young girls. And guess what young girls are saying? I do not want to end up like that. And that is a real case scenario in which I ever put myself in a situation in which that now she can say that I am reliant on another man for finances, or I become in a situation in which I am limited in my ability to actually acquire finances because I decided to get a child. That is a real situation, and that's why you see Bill and Melinda doing what? Funding operations like that within Kenya. I would love to hear your perspective.
Well, for me, what I want to say is that I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories. Yeah, it's true this drug has been around, apparently.
Yeah, now it's 8 years.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware. But there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around. Remember the vaccinations? Somebody went around telling people that ng'ombe zita nyamba.
What? Are you for real?
And there's a vaccination to stop cows from Kunyamba.
Wow.
And it became a total national crisis.
Yeah, true.
Okay? And then there was conspiracy theories, and even right now, about corona, the vaccines.
Yes.
They say that the vaccines that were brought in Africa, they were not good.
They're linked to infertility.
They are linked to infertility. The people are just, young men are just dropping off. There's been quite a lot of people just dropping off, especially men, just dropping off and just going without any explanation. And a lot of conspiracy theories are linking it back to those vaccines. There's this conspiracy theory of depopulation from the same organization. This particular person wants a depopulation, and just hot on the heels of somebody who came and harvested the
The iris.
eyeballs
data.
of
KTC.
Kenyans, and then we didn't know what was happening. So I think Kenyans are fully in their rights to question.
Yes.
We need full disclosure, full disclosure, because let's not forget there was a birth control that was tried out, thalidomide, and it caused a lot of long-term things. So you're saying we are going to be your guinea pigs, actually, yeah? So the normal pedestrian person, person on the street, an ordinary Kenyan like myself, yeah, we want answers. We want answers. I know you guys are not married. You have a girl. If you are a child today who is a girl, are you going to accept for your child to be injected?
No.
Not child, if they reach of age.
Yes.
Will you actually advise them to get on this thing that is being tried out in the world?
No, because I
And we don't even know the long term.
Yes, because I don't trust these leaders.
Yes,
International
so there's a
leaders,
lot
yes.
of mistrust on this particular organization we are talking about.
And I feel it's not enough
Yes,
information.
and there's not enough information. So that's why I always say that if you're going to launch a campaign like that, can we have some proper education?
Yes.
Some proper civic public education for people to know what's happening. Yeah? So that this full disclosure, we feel there's so much that we don't know that I think better safe than sorry. Me, this is what I can say.
See you.
First of all, I would say that the Western world has always been very, very bad to anyone of black skin.
True.
We'll start with the syphilis problem in the black American in the Americas, where all black men were injected with syphilis in Chicago and in its environment, and they were never treated, just to depopulate the blacks. So when I hear such things, I become very jittery because incidentally, most of the European countries have a negative, what we call negative population growth. And Africa has the highest number of population growth. So they will try very much to cut that population, because if they had an opportunity to do it with the Chinese, they would have done. But remember, the Chinese, their population became their source of strength and source of superpowerdom. That's why the Chinese today, whatever you say, you can't tell them anything. People depend on them. Because the moment you have a highly educated and high population of people who have gone to school, then you can change the world. And they can see what is happening. Kenya is one of those countries with very brilliant young minds, extremely intelligent people. That's why they are fighting everyone on the social spaces. Yeah? And they can see that if they do not curtail the Africans' growth, Africa has always been at the center of European domination. They always try, first of all, when you look at the map of the world, Africa is drawn as a smaller map, and European map is expanded 10 times.
Yes.
You see, the current map of the world is not the true reflection of the size.
I saw a proposal, someone wants it edited.
We need to
Yes.
actually, we need
a
the world
resolution.
map to be redrawn.
It has, the AU made a resolution.
Oh,
We
yes, the
must
AU.
redraw the world map, because the whole of Europe is equivalent to Sudan.
Wow.
Yet, how do they draw it?
Bigger.
as bigger than anything else, 10 times bigger than what actually Europe is.
Relatively.
Then they reduce Africa 3 times. That's why in Africa we have 3 time zones. If you go to West Africa, they are 3 hours behind us today.
Yeah.
Yet, the world, the people who had the map, who had the resources, decided this is it. So they are trying, the control for Africa has been a very big thing in the Western world. And it's not, we say this is not propaganda. It is a way of how you try to keep Africans down. So you try to bring the very many things. On the food security front, they're buying all the indigenous food, the seeds. You've seen the world, the storage for world seeds, that they're taking all our indigenous seeds and giving us all these other seeds. And Africans are very busy letting their seeds go so that they will come back and sell for you your original seeds.
I see your point. I want to like use it. You see what you're saying, that we are a hub in which that they are using us as they're restricting our population growth. What I want to extrapolate further is this. There's a reason why they've chosen Kenya and Nigeria. You notice that they're not chosen Madagascar.
They can't.
They're not chosen other places. Do you know why? It's because we as Kenyans, we put ourselves in a position in which we are a ripe population for them to actually now use us in this way based on our capitalistic habits, because we put the coin as number one. You have to remember, they are smart to target the audience that's actively ready. You have to remember that. And when you recognize that indeed you are a target, you have to recognize that indeed why are they viewing you as a target based on your intrinsic desires and habits. You have to remember that. You have to know that based on the habits of Kenyans, based on the way that they are heavily capitalistic, and based on the actual fact that indeed the ladies within Kenya are actually empowered through the various organizations and the things that have been put. There are very many women empowerment things, and they're heavily capitalistic oriented, and they're very focused on growing their economic power. Hence, what's going to be right there? They're not going to be very, they're going to look for ways to extend their ways, in the sense that I do not want to get pregnant early. I want to now postpone it a lot later. And hence they'll use that, and they want to capitalize on that need to now for their own selfish endeavors, which you have said are the population restriction. So please be aware of how you are the target, so you can actually now walk with consciousness and know how to even guide your own life.
Just laughing because when he's speaking, it reminds me when he's speaking about tunnel vision, the way we just see money. I just remembered, sorry, I'll hand it over to him quickly. Someone on social media said that if you want to get rich quick, there's a place in Ngara, they are buying eggs, I mean human eggs, for 15,000 shillings, beautiful ladies. It's a quick way to make money. And the first comment was, and for those of us who are not beautiful, can it be negotiated? I mean, you're not even worried about where your eggs are going. You're just like, okay, can we negotiate the money? If it's 15 for the pretty ones, can I get 7? And I have not stopped laughing about it.
What is your punchline, Dr. Z? Your punchline for this show right now. Go ahead.
Be careful of what is getting into your body. Don't be used as a guinea pig. Refuse. Kata.
My punchline will be, millennials, cheers to you for being the managers that can actually now guide these Gen Zs towards the right path. And we deserve our respect.
I would say the madness of this country is never going to stop soon.
Yes. And let the madness continue. Next week, we shall give you more madness. We'll see if you'll be here. We shall see.
That's where you sleep.